Recording in progress. It's not? Why? Okay, it's recording now. Yes. All right. So now you know how to name the alkenes. It's basically the same procedure as the alkanes, but in this case, you also have to take into account where the double bond is located, and this is going to have preeminency over any other stuff that you have in the chain. Also, you have to include the number of the carbon where the double bond is located. Now, what happens if you have more than one double bond in an alkene? Okay, so the name, the suffix of the name has to be modified to indicate the number of double bonds that you have. If you have two double bonds, it's going to be adene. If you have three, it's going to be atrine, and so on. Okay, let's see an example. Look at this one here. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbons in this chain, and you have two double bonds. One of them is located here, the other one is located here. If that's the case, it doesn't matter where you start, because you could start counting here or here. They both are at the same distance from the end. So we just started what is more comfortable to us from here, and we will have one double bond here, and the next one is in the fourth carbon. So we have 1,4 pentadiene. Notice that this suffix has been added, adene. Pentadiene. Actually, I think it's diene. Yes, it's diene. And this is triene. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. I didn't want to find myself. Divani, this is your work. Ahí están todos los worksheets. All right, so I'm sorry, my Spanish is taking control of my tongue. It's not dien, it's die-in. And you know that die is for 2 and tri is for 3. So pentadiene, 2 double bonds and a 5 carbons chain. All right. Let's see this little problem here. How would we name it? What is the name that this compound will receive? I need everybody to find it out and send it to me in the private chat. In the meantime, as you work on that, I'm gonna pause the recording so that we don't continue to record as you work. Okay, so for that compound, the first step is to identify the longest chain, which is the parent chain, the most important chain, which is the one that contains the double bond, of course. You could go from the bottom to the left, up, and then right, but it's going to be the same thing as just continue straight. So why not to continue straight? And if we do so, we will find that we have 4 carbons here and a double bond. So because it's 4 carbons, it's a bute compound, and because you have a double bond, the ending is in, so you have a butene here. You know that at least. After you look at the longest chain and the double bond and its location, now you go and number this chain, okay? And identify the branches or alkyl groups that you have. When you do that, you will know that you have a methyl here and you have an ethyl here. Okay, so you know that you have methyl, ethyl, butene, but you always have to respect the alphabetical order. So the ethyl is going to be mentioned first and then the methyl. So you have ethyl, methyl, butene. Okay, sorry about that. Now that you have,
Hear you.
I am back. I'm sorry, I got disconnected again. What was the last thing you heard? What was the last thing you heard?
We only reached the part where you said, now that we have the ethyl methylene.
Okay, perfect. So after that, or
Ethyl methylene butene, which was the end of the slide.
okay, perfect. This is the next one. I'd rather numbering the carbons as soon as I identify the longest chain, but you could do it anytime before you name your compound. And because we have the double bond closer to this end, then this is where you will start counting. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, as you know. So you're going to have a double bond in carbon number 1. So it's going to be 1 butene. And you have ethyl in carbon number 2 and methyl in carbon number 3. So you're going to have 2 ethyl, 3 methyl, 1 butene. 2 ethyl, 3 methyl, 1 butene. Okay? Again, remember that between the methyl and the ethyl, you will always start with the ethyl because you respect the alphabetical order. Okay? Any questions before we move on? Any questions before we move on? All right. So let's go quickly into this. Oh boy, I have to give you your break. I haven't given you any breaks. Okay, we'll continue with this part next week. For now, I'm gonna stop recording. I'm gonna stop sharing, and I will tell you, check Google Classroom for